Hello, football fans. Larry Allen here at the KGAS Studios alongside Scott Surratt, the head football coach and athletic director of Carthage High School. Worthington AC and Plumbing bringing you today's portion of Pigskin Preview. Well, it's that playoff time again this year, and something that I always look forward to, and I know Coach Surratt does too, and the Bulldogs look forward to it. So we'll talk about the playoffs here in just a minute, but before that, we're going to go back to last Friday night over in Kilgore, and the Bulldogs knock off Kilgore 49-11. The first win for Coach Surratt at Kilgore in 4 tries. Congratulations.
Well, I appreciate you. It was a great night. Obviously, we played well. Our coaches coached well, and it was a good night to get better. And I thought we did. We executed offensively. We scored every time we touched it with the ones. And then, defensively, give up 1 touchdown in the third quarter. We had a few starters out, but we still should have made that play.
All right. I want to mention the defense. Now, I mentioned this stat, Scott, 2 weeks ago, but now the regular season is finished. So there's 179 football teams in Class 4A. That's Division I and Division II combined. Only 4 this year allowed less than 100 points. And 2 of those 4, West Orange, Stark, and Jasper, only played 8 games. So they only played 8. Of course, we played 10. Carthage, the fewest points given up of any team in Class 4A this year. Now, that would include points given up by the offense. For instance, when Chapel Hill ran a punt back for a touchdown, and it would include those safeties that we gave up last week, but well, I congratulated the other day Coach Preston, and of course he's the one that heads up the defense. That's a remarkable performance this year. And also, 6 of our 10 opponents, 6 of the 10 that we played, they scored their lowest point total against Carthage. 3 scored their second lowest total. And of the 6 that scored their lowest total, Gilmer and Pleasant Grove, they had their lowest total against the Bulldogs. It's been a great year defensively. I mean, incredible year.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. To have that great a year, you got to start at the top, and with Coach Preston and the staff, with Coach Mike Morgan and Coach Ryan Marion. Those guys been with me the whole time for 13 years now, and Coach Charlie Tucker and John Goodwin, Art Horton, Mark Brown. Those guys do a phenomenal job, and when you got that good of coaches, it's going to reflect when you have the athletes like we have on defense. And so we played great, but we know we hadn't played our best yet defensively, and that's our goal, just to keep getting better and play our best game each week from here on.
I want to ask you about one particular play on Chalk Talk. You pointed out a pass down at the goal line. In fact, it was in the end zone, and back there making the play, I guess about 20 yards from the line of scrimmage, was Owens. One of our defensive ends, Quentin Owens. That guy has some range, doesn't he?
He does. That's when we stand him up and play him in some pass coverage. He's a great pass rusher, but he's also great in coverage and catches the ball well. I mean, he's got a great future in front of him. But he did. We've never had a player to make a play on a fade throw in the end zone like that, and thank goodness he missed it because our corner misplayed it. And but he made a great player. We probably wouldn't have had a shutout the first half.
Correct. All right. Now, I tell you, I go out to practice most days, and I think the favorite thing of practice that I go to is on Tuesdays, and I guess you do it every Tuesday. That's where the ones go against the ones. And this particular Tuesday, D. Bowman with an interception, Coach Preston with a classic response, celebrating. It was a big moment for the defense.
Yeah, we did. We go ones and ones. Start off practice on Mondays. We go blitz pickup, and then we'll score, and then we got after those guys on Monday, and
okay.
we were kind of celebrating and and kind of doing a lot of fun stuff, a little jab here or there, and for our staff and players, and just fun stuff, and then. The next day, I was gone to the volleyball game, and I watched it on tape within 20 minutes when it happened. That's crazy how technology is, but anyway, we drove it down the field, and DeAndre Bowman kind of baited our quarterback, and he threw a pick there in the 2-minute situation, and so they were really getting after the coaches was getting at defensive coaches jabbing at the offensive coaches. It's all in fun, but I told Coach Preston it was the only reason we didn't score was because I wasn't there, and of course I don't know if we scored in 2 minutes in the last 6 or 7, 8 weeks. So it's hard in 2 minutes. They know pretty much what we're doing they've gone up against us so much in our spread in 2 minutes, because you can only do so many formations and things in 2 minutes because you got to stay in it once that first play. So we showed them a different look or two. You actually got it down the field, and then we threw the pick.
All right. Are you still scripting plays as you did earlier in the year?
Oh yeah. We script plays every practice. Everybody knows what's going on, offense, defense, and so if it's play 38, we don't have to say, hey, what are we running? All 6 offensive coaches know what play 38 is, and same thing defensively.
Do you script the first 10 or 12 plays of a game?
I script the first 14, and we try to stay on that. Down and distance may change it, because it may have, throw it deep. We may be 4th and a foot, and we may not want to do that. Sometimes we will, but we may not want to do that. We'll try to get every formation and motions and how they're adjusting with our best runs and best passes in the first 14 and see how they're adjusting that.
Let's say your first possession, you score on the 4th play of the scripted plays. Second possession, do you pick it up with play number 5?
Yes, sir. More than likely, yes.
Okay, and what are you looking to see in those first 14 plays? How the defense responds to what you run?
Yeah, how they're lining up to each formation. We'll show a bunch of formations in that first 14, and then we'll show some motions and things, and how their adjustment is to it before. They may have a second adjustment if we're really getting after them in a formation or having a lot of success in a formation, then they're going to have to adjust. But that's what we want to know: what formation has been successful, what motions, what looks have been successful, and we'll go from there.
You got a junior quarterback this year. Give us your report on him through 10 ball games.
I think he's just getting better. He's super talented. He's got the measurables. He got the arm strength, and his leadership's getting better. That's what I think you see more and more happening, and his familiarity with Friday night and his leading style. He's starting to come in on his own. So he's played very well. I mean, we look at just a few things, or 2 things, honestly, and that's touchdown interception ratio and percentage, passing percentage. And I think he's around 64% right now, and 30 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. So that's the things that we gauge on. We've gotten so good. Not saying this arrogantly, but our quarterbacks have played so well. We used to, when we first got here, we won a 4-1. Touchdown interception ratio, and then we went to 5-1, and now it's all the way up to 8-1 is what we wanted at, and so he's 30-4, and so he's hitting that right now, and hopefully he can continue to get better. He's got to get a lot better in a lot of phases of the game, and but I think he will, because he's practicing a lot better.
All right. Athens Hornets, the opponent in by district. Give us your scouting report.
Well, number one, you got to start with their number 6. He's one of the most dynamic players we played all year. He scored lots of touchdowns. He's a great football player, and their quarterback does a good job with them. Their number 37's their running back and the linebacker. We think he's their best player on defense, and he can really run. And in the secondary, they put lots of guys in there. Their boundary corner's number 12, and he's a good player. But we feel like we got some advantages. They've given up some points. We just got to execute offensively and defensively. They've scored. Their offense has scored a lot of points, so it's going to be a good challenge for us. And I think we'll be ready.
All right. At this time of the year, Scott, we always ask you what you know, if anything, about next week.
Well, next week we had a lock on Friday, and we thought, and then anyway, there was some miscommunication with Lufkin. So now we're on Thursday at Lufkin next week. So that has changed, and but anyway, it is what it is, and there's not any fields from here to Houston or Lumberton. It's just there's just not any turf fields, and we want to play on turf this year. We hadn't been on a grass field all year, and if there is weather, you want to be on turf, and so we had to move it up to Thursday.
All right, move to Thursday, and obviously you mentioned the word Lumberton, so I guess we're playing the winner of Lumberton and someone else, right?
Lumberton, Houston, Wheatley. So it's a little further drive for Wheatley, probably than us, probably 20, 30 minutes maybe, but they agreed to it, and then Lumberton's pretty close for us.
Okay, so Lumberton's agreed to it, and Wheatley's agreed to it. Again, that's next week, fans. If we win against Athens, it's going to be Thursday in Lufkin. All right, give us an update on cross country.
Cross country, every runner set their personal best time, and that's what they really ran well. I think they placed 14th for the first time being down there. That's really good. There is, I don't know how many teams, but there is tons and tons of teams down there. I think there's, I'm not quite sure how many teams, but that's 14th in the top half, but all of them set their personal best, and that was our goal going down there, because that was, if they all set their personal best, then we knew we could finish our place high, and we did. And so it was just a great job of those young men and Coach Hortons.
All right, now there's no divisions. In football, there's Division I, Division II. There's no divisions in cross country, so I'm guessing with 32. No, let's see. There would not be every district represented down there. Well, I'm going to quit trying to figure out the number. You just told us a large number. I think I saw in the newspaper that one team went down there and finished 40th something. So finished.
Yeah, that's what I think. There may be 64 teams down
64.
There.
Okay, all right.
That's a guess, but I think that's probably right.
Okay, all right. So that'd be 16 per region. All right. So 14th. Very good. How about volleyball?
Volleyball is we're really hot right now, and we're 39-4, and continue to set a school record every win we get. But that's not our goal. They're just playing very well. Went to the China Spring game Tuesday, and it was a dominant performance. I thought every girl on the floor played really well. Coach Stewart and her staff coached great. I mean, it was just a great performance, and I think they're hot, and I know they have to be. And they play Splendora Friday at 6 o'clock, and Splendora's got a really good team. But I think if we play well, they play well. I think we'll win and have a great shot of moving on. And then I know Midlothian Heritage and Huffman Hargraves on the other side at the regional tournament. They both have great programs. Midlothian Heritage was at the state tournament last year. And Huffman Hargrave, I think, was like 44-1 when Midlothian Heritage beat them. So it's going to be tough, but it's always going to be tough when you get that far in the regional tournament. But I can't be more happy for Coach Stewart, her staff, and the young ladies, because they are really, really, really good, and they played very well.
All right, so you've got 2 games this is at Bryan. And there's 2 games to advance, so you've got 2 games in the regional tournament, and then if you win there, then it'd be 2 games if you win at the state, correct?
That's correct. Then they'll play, if they, you just look ahead, if they win this weekend, then the next week would be, I believe, Friday, Saturday in Garland.
In Garland,
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So.
All right, let's talk about another matchup concerning our district. I tell you what, if the game was close by, I definitely would not miss this one. Henderson, Midlothian Heritage. That's an intriguing one right there. I think the Lions got a chance to win that one, don't they?
I think so, absolutely. I think it'll be a good game. I think it could be a good game. And, I hadn't seen Heritage, but I don't think they're quite as good as they were last year, talking to their coach. And so I think it could be a very good game.
All right. Where do we stand on injuries?
We're still the same. Hunter Hill and Kip Lewis out. Quan Brown's back, and we've had some bumps and bruises, but everybody should go other than that.
All right. Now you mentioned somebody. I want to get your comments on first game back for Quan Brown. Tell us what you saw.
Played well. We didn't want to play him too many snaps and make sure because he graded out 100% in practice for us his test, but we wanted to make sure in live action, and he did very well, and he'll get more snaps, and he just gives us, we can now get in 5 down. I mean, we can do a lot of things defensively, and we're excited about having him back because it gives us a lot of versatility, and I promise you, Coach Preston's going to use it because he's so creative defensive mind-wise.
I assume, though, we'll still be seeing some of Jakevian Toogle.
Oh, yeah, no question. Jakevian's still going to be playing, and they'll rotate in there, or it gives you the option to put Owens back at some linebacker more, some outside linebacker. I mean, it gives you a lot of options. So depth is a really good thing, and now we've got it back with Quan being back.
Well, one of the practices I went to, I sensed a lot of intensity on the part of the team. I think they're ready to go in the playoffs, don't you?
Oh, I think we're ready. We talked about, it's the best time of year. This is what you work and go 10-0-4. We remind them about how many upsets. We have Mr. James McWright come in and talk to us every Wednesday, and he was talking pretty much the David and Goliath story, and it was really good for us to hear, because I'm not saying we're Goliath, we're whatever, but I'm just saying that we know anything can happen. And, I talked to the volleyball team a couple of weeks ago, and just make sure you don't take anybody light. And because if you don't take everybody serious this time of year, you'll be either watching them or seeing them play on social media or whatever, and you don't want to do them. If you're the better team, then you want to move on, and so I know everybody's wanting to move on right now, but we're not overlooking anybody, and we're looking at ourselves internally to make sure we're getting better every week, because if we're not, we're wasting time in practice.
You yourself can tell the volleyball team that it hurts to watch someone else play, don't you?
Absolutely. There's no doubt. I don't think that we've ever gotten beat, honestly, I can say, is overlooking anybody in the playoffs. I just think we played some bad games or got beat by better teams in the playoffs. But don't overlook anybody. Just prepare your best, play your best, and see what happens.
Was it this time of the year that Bulldog fans start thinking, Arlington, we're going to be there? Well, let me make sure you know the date just in case you want to make some plans. It's December the 20th. It's a Friday. And if we're there, we'll be playing the 11 a.m. ball game. You told us a few weeks ago that's a game that you like, 11 a.m.
Yeah, I'd like to compete in it. I don't want to talk about it too much, but I sure would love to compete in it. And, we did love our 11 o'clock slot because we get to get in, at 8 o'clock in the morning, and that's when we usually get to the stadium at 3 hours early, and then everything's on routine. And it's really fun if you win. It's because you get to, after all the media and stuff, you get to watch the other 4A team. And, Pleasant Grove, a couple of years ago, we played 11 o'clock. I got so many friends that coach at Pleasant Grove, and I had one of them come, rub on me. And he said, give me some of that luck. And then they won. It was a good deal. He's a really good friend. And so Steve Morris is his name, still with him. And so that was fun to sit there, and I watched the Highland Park game after that. So I stayed at the stadium the whole day and watched really good games. And it was so, if you lose, I don't think it'd be too much fun.
Yeah.
So as long as we win, and it would be fun.
All right. Now, while you were talking about that, something else came up that I want to ask you about. Chad Morris, since we last met, fired as the head coach at Arkansas, and of course we had 2 guys that were committed to Arkansas at one time. Now, correct me if I'm wrong on this. I heard that Ty Keast decommitted a couple of weeks ago, and out on social media I'm reading that after Chad Morris left, that Kelvonte is decommitted. Can you confirm those?
Yeah, they have decommitted. Doesn't mean they don't want to go to Arkansas. It just means they're waiting on the head coach. I think just about every one of the recruits, besides maybe in-state Arkansas recruits, most of them anyway, decommitted, and they're waiting on the new head coach and, you know, kind of the system, because you're not in there long, and if you're athletic like those two guys, you want to go to a place that, you know, fits your abilities, and so they'll wait on the new head coach, and you know, who knows, they may end up back at Arkansas, so it's a good problem to have for those two young men. You know, it's a shame. You know, I know Coach Morris is a great guy, and you know, it's just that business, this business. You know, we get bad around here 3-4 years, and they'll have somebody else here, and that's the way the world is right now, and that's the business.
Keontae going to be doing any heavy talking to his brother, Kelvonte?
Yeah, they're really wanting to come up. They visited the other day. The University of Texas receivers coach did, and they're trying to convince him to come. And you know, they may be the front runner. I don't know. I know they're one of his top three. So.
Well, I keep thinking of questions. Okay, we got to talk about this. You've got to have your comments. Keontae Ingram, best performance of the year, 139 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he was the back of the week as far as the I forget the name of the award, maybe the Earl Campbell Award. Mm-hmm. Congratulations to him.
Yeah, he played great. He really did. You know, at that level or at any level, it's going to be like a roller coaster. You're going up and down, and but we always tell our players, and you know, just telling Keon, it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. The season is a marathon. You know, and you've got to, you know, be consistent. And he's dealt with some injuries, but now he's 100% healthy. He's about 230 pounds, is what his head coach reported, and so. He's getting better and better, and he's still a sophomore. You know, it's just like his sophomore year here. He wasn't a great player for us early. He was a good player, but then about Stafford, you know, he played well for us in the playoffs, and he was kind of mixing in with Hardy, and then all of a sudden he took over, and then he had the unfortunate injury against Silsby. But I think that he's going to get better and better and better, and he's a 3-down back.
Coach Herman not only reporting that he's 230 pounds, but also saying that his confidence is really up there now.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about, the ups and downs, and you know, it's easy to have great confidence and when everything's going good, but you know, it's when you got players, especially with the talent that's around him, at Big 12 Division I talent, then. You know, if your confidence goes and you don't play very good, you're going to be on the sideline. And but he loves the pressure, he loves the work, and all that. He's going to continue to get better because he's going to try to keep that running back spot, and so I think you'll see him keep playing better.
All right, well, that's it for this week. The Bulldogs going up against the Athens Hornets over at, let's see, we're going to be at
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, thank you very much. The Tomato Bowl, yes, the remodeled Tomato Bowl. And for you fans, remember, you got some chairback seats this time because Scott won the flip and we are the home team. All right, we'll be on the air at 7 o'clock. Kickoff is 7:30. All right, for Coach Surratt, I'm Larry Allen. Have a great weekend, everyone.